Hello everybody. So Strategies Q1 is out and I could not hope for a better Q1 earnings report. Of course, one needs to ignore the gap-based metrics that are being reported by all of the news outlets right now. They don't matter for MicroStrategy. The income statement does not matter for MicroStrategy. This is a company that is growing via the balance sheet. It's a company that's taking money via dilution, via the balance sheet. And so that's why all of the KPIs that it reports have to do with the balance sheet. And if you look at the KPIs that are relevant to MicroStrategy, they had an absolutely outstanding Q1 because their 2025 target was for a Bitcoin yield of 15%. And I've joked for the longest time that this is a joke. They're going to get there in Q1. Well, look, this is the important part of the letter, right? The shareholders' letter. We're thrilled to report that the strongest start of the year was here. Year-to-date BTC yield was 13.7%. They had guided 15% for the full year of 2025. They did 13.7%, which means that, and this is where I'm so happy, the guidance, the outlook was increased. The outlook was increased by 67%. They are now guiding for the year 2025, the full year 2025. They're now guiding 25%. I believe they will increase that again, if not in Q2, maybe in Q3, but at some point they will increase that again. I firmly believe that. That is still sandbag. Saylor is still the king of sandbagging because when I calculate, it looks to me like they're going to be just under 40% yield for 2025 when I look at the trajectory of this stock. They've also increased the BTC dollar gain, the target from 10 billion to 15 billion, but of course we don't care about that as much as holders of MicroStrategy. We want to see the BTC yield, the Bitcoin yield. We want to see him increase the Bitcoin yield, and we really don't care about where Bitcoin is trading at because this is just flipping everything backwards, right? It's valuing a company under the Bitcoin standard and not valuing the company under a fiat standard. The value of MicroStrategy is 553,000 Bitcoin. That's the value of MicroStrategy. And what will the value of MicroStrategy be towards the end of 2025? Maybe 650,000 Bitcoin, maybe 700,000 Bitcoin, maybe a little less. I don't know, but we value this company by a Bitcoin, and so that's why we care about the Bitcoin yield. We care about having more Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin yield guidance was increased by 67%, plus 67%. I am so amazed by this. This is so great. He's out of the former ATM, so he announced a new $21 billion at the market common shares ATM offering. And this is great because that means he's going to keep diluting to generate the yield. And you know, the $21 billion ATM is the most exciting part of the report for me because I had a little concern that it would go too bold, right? And I've seen people saying, oh, he should announce $100 billion or $200 billion ATM. I've seen people say that. My concern is that if he had announced a $210 billion ATM, he might have spooked Wall Street. He might have spooked TradFi. You know, think about all of the MicroStrategy articles that are being written right now using gap numbers from people who don't understand this stock. There's going to be a flurry of articles against MicroStrategy today. I bet you. They're going to be like, oh, MicroStrategy posts huge loss. They're going to use the gap number. So he's trying to not spook the market. That's why I think he did another $21 billion ATM. That's just enough. That's just enough to reload. And then in a quarter or two, when he proves the simplicity of the dilution model again, in a quarter or two, he can do another $21 billion. And I'm perfectly fine with him redoing a $21 billion ATM, eventually perhaps every quarter. What if every quarter he announces a new $21 billion ATM? That's fine by me. You don't spook Wall Street. Wall Street is not afraid. But you also don't go too tiny, or you don't not do it. Anyways, the point is, Saylor, and I've noticed, and I've said that before about Saylor. He's found the simple solution to be the best solution. He's highlighted over and over again that the simplest solution is the best solution. This is as ancient of a concept as Greece, right? This is Occam's razor. The simplest is always the best. The ATM is so simple. That math works so simply. And so that's why if today you are concerned about the $21 billion ATM, or if you don't like dilution because you say have decades of TradFi telling you dilution is bad, I cannot recommend enough this video where I walk us through the ATM math. This is the ATM math. And please go watch the video of the ATM math to understand why we should be excited about the ATM. The ATM is selling a dollar bill for $1.96 when your market cap to BTC dollar worth is a 1.96 MNAV, right? MNAV. You're collecting the MNAV beyond 1. If the stock is trading at a 1.9 MNAV, you collect 0.9. So I am very happy about this report. This was absolutely great to see. And I am looking forward to the conference call right now, and I'll be listening to this in a second. So anyways, this was not investment advice, not financial advice. This is just entertainment. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. Please like, please subscribe, and follow me on Patreon, follow me on X, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.